Hello viewers. Well, we looked at the controller handling in part 2 of our E3 coverage and I enjoyed it, but I feel I want to do more. I want to go back to it. I want to try it on a different surface and see how I get on. Now, that was a tarmac surface. Let's see what it's like on dirt and gravel, and I thought we're better to try it than at Chile. So again, I've tested all 3 cars and you're going to see me starting off with the WRC Junior with control pad action. This is a fast and challenging rally. It's quick. You can slide the car more. I do try to slide the car more. I'm not great at sliding the car. It's not the way I drive in many respects, but certainly you can get physical with the cars in this rally. The junior class you're seeing here is obviously much slower than the other 2 classes, and that's great because it really gives you an insight into the details of the course. And that's something you really need to learn. I found on my first run through this, I made more mistakes with the junior car than I did with the WRC2 and WRC, simply because learning the course here was simply more challenging. Just trying to slide it. You can slide it all the way through there. I did it perfectly on an earlier run. Then I would come to record it, and typical, I don't. But there you go. And you can slide all the way through here. This is a corner where you can be a lot more committed over this crest, and I wasn't being as committed as perhaps could and should have been there. It's because it really tightens there, and you can end up going over the edge so easily. And again here, you're looking for a rock just in the distance. You know where you're going. There's the rock just ahead there. Just dodge that rock. There it is. Yeah, it's a good point to drive towards actually, because it's a blind crest. And again here, braking downhill, loose gravel. This car tends to slide a little bit through there, and I love the way the track goes off into the distance, and you can see where you're going as the weather starts to change. It's that mist rolling in gradually. Now we do have dynamic weather. On this particular occasion, it came up with a bit of mild fog here and there, a bit of mist. But on the other 2 runs, it's just a clear day, as you'd expect, probably for the region. But it gives a nice little feel anyway, and I thought, well, let's go dynamic weather, because I think it adds so much to the rally experience. And again, braking for this corner here, you just don't want to cut it too much. And I really enjoyed this rally. It's funny, when I first saw Chile being developed, I thought, oh, it doesn't look as good as the others, but they've added a lot in terms of foliage and various detail to it. And you can go pretty quick in the fast cars, as we see the bit of moisture now coming in there. It's very difficult to tell. The ground isn't that wet, isn't that muddy yet. It does start to get muddy, but you can see the car twitching a little bit more. And that affects your visibility just a little bit in a good way. And of course that affects the lighting and the various flares, fans. You see the trees blowing in the wind now, so we've got a bit of rain here. Trees blowing, nice little details. I do like that. And the ground's getting a bit wetter now. So I think you just be mindful of your braking. Slow for the corner, you need to be slow. That wasn't quite perfect, but nibbling the apex there. And now we're a good way into this now as I make a mistake. Just trying to turn in and didn't quite hit it right. My mistake. I'm being quite tentative through here. It's a strange corner. It's a long corner, it's tightening, and there's low grip, and it's really easy to bounce off one way or the other there. And you see the trees blowing in the wind again. Really nice little effects. Just gives you that bit of authenticity as you work your way through. Just to put in perspective that the stages are, I think there's epic stages sort of 4 times as long as this, so if you want much longer stages, there's others in the game that are, but we're not going to look at that until a later date, and that's going to be pretty cool because it's going to test you. I do find on the epic stages you'll get sort of, I don't know, halfway in and you feel like you're mentally exhausted over this blind crest. It's one section I don't like. It's because it doesn't seem like it, but the track veers off to the right subtly, and it's very easy to hit it wrong in a faster car. You're flying through the air a lot more, rocket through those final few sections and over the line. Also, just answering some of your questions, we have had people mentioning various details and the frame rate. I can tell you right now that I've inquired about that and they're still working on that, so there is going to be an upgraded version. This was just for the E3 demo, but there is an upgraded version with an improved frame rate, so we look forward to seeing that, and I reckon that's going to be around probably in the next few weeks, and we'll wait and see. But certainly there's improvements coming to the frame rate. This is running on the PC version, so I mean I could turn down some effects, but I am running virtually everything at max, so we'll just wait and see when the optimization comes through, and then we'll get much better frame rate. So not to worry on that. Other than that, it's all running very well for me anyway. In the WRC2 car, again with the controller, very important. People ask me as well, why am I using the controller? It's because a lot of gamers use the controller rather than the wheel. Really important that it handles well and you can put the car through its paces, and much better. Again, I think I had to slide the car. I was sliding it earlier, and typically I come to make the video and it's not. But there you go. It's about doing a cleanish run rather than completely on the limit. But either way, I'm not hanging around, mind you, and I'm enjoying this immensely. So it's great to race around it and enjoy the action. So what are you feeling here? The car's much faster, you're braking a little bit earlier than you were before, you're being more progressive on the throttle, there's more areas where you're not flat out, you're braking a bit earlier here, trying to get the car in, slide it through the corner, just coming out a bit on the exit. I didn't take that right at all, so time was lost through that corner. Love that view again, look, different weather, a nice clear day, that view stretching off for miles. Love that, brilliant, wonderful details, spot effects. And then into these two slow corners yet again. And I was also asked as well, do you see cars parked at the sides? You do see the odd cars that have crashed or broken down at the side of the road, and on an upcoming GoPro video you're going to see where unfortunately it catches me unawares and sends me off the track. It can happen, just because, you know, blind crest and suddenly boom, there's a broken down rally car right there. But that's what it's all about. You see you occasionally see the shadow there of the drone following you around, which is nice. There's a drone that follows you. Oh, nearly losing it there, but just managing to regain control. Trying to slow the car down a bit. Time was lost because of that. Intense driving action through this section. Flat through here. Braking down a bit, then on the power, flat through this corner, and we're looking for our braking point. We're braking down nice and early. No point braking too late there. You'll only end up going off. It's not worth it. There's less time to be gained than there is to be lost by going wide on that corner. Tight gate there again, pretty close. In this tricky corner again, you see how there was that bump there and it sent the car sideways? It's little things like that that are happening all the time that catch the car out. That's the sort of thing that you can see catching you out. As we work our way through now latter part of the stage, and it's through here, the last few corners in this section before we work up to our WRC class. So working with the controller really well again. I think this sort of, we'll be doing more controller videos, but we'll be back to the wheel in our future videos. I'm taking notes on the stuff you guys want to see, so there's going to be a detailed look at the options at some point, and we're also hoping to show some of the career as well when they give us access to it. So certainly lots of good content from this E3 build, and the developers have, you know, about 3 months now to really get a move on in completing it all. There's a lot to be done, and they're working really hard to bring all the elements together, but as you can see, all coming together nicely. So a nice clean run again then, and that was nice and swift. On to the final run in the WRC car, and wow, you immediately feel the difference in power. These cars just launch, and suddenly you're barely, you're sort of half throttle through here. It's like half throttle through a lot of this, not full throttle at all, and then you give it a squirt of full throttle and then you're off, you know. And again, just gentle on the power through there. Get on that handbrake nice and early, So get the car around. There's one of the cars there stranded at the side. So you do occasionally see a rally car that's stranded or out of action. Oh, the car flying through the jump there, slowing a bit here for this section. So there's more speed, loads more speed to be found. I mean, when the top guys get on this, they'll be throwing the car diagonally into these jumps and landing square, no doubt, sliding the car through here. Better. We finally got our slide going. So you can slide the car, finally. You can. I'm not sliding it as much as the top guys are going to be sliding it around. Again, trying to take a bit more risk here, but the corner tightens so much. You go right down, slow right down, then on the power, opens up for me. And now I think I'd flat through here. It's feeling good on the controller, feeling good. Feeling like I can attack the circuit in the same way as I would with a wheel. A little bit of a lift here, and gently on the power again. Braking quite early. Car's got a lot of velocity downhill, so and there's not much grip on the surface, so got to gently get on the power. Car moving around a lot. Again, it's got so much power, it can bounce around a bit on its suspension, it can get unbalanced if you lose control. A little bit of braking just before the hump there. It's very easy to almost have too much speed when you when you land. You're jumping so far that your braking distance after the jump is greatly reduced in these cars. So you just need to sometimes lift a little bit and work your way through it that way. And now I'm thinking, right, halfway point in the stage, you really got to just focus through here. Down into a 3, isn't it? Getting it nice and tight to the apex there. And then on the power flat through here. Committed. Really committed through this section. Lifting a little bit before the jump occasionally, just simply, not a brake, just a lift slightly, just to control the speed on the landing. And it's very important that you get the speed and landing right. Nearly losing control, literally over the ditch. That was one wheel either side of the ditch then. I was very lucky to get away with that. Very lucky. Just took off the jump wrong, and that can, you hit a bump wrongly. Braking right down again. Bit of handbrake through there. Turning it in nice and early. That's it. Nibbling the apex there of that lake. And down here through number 2, through a gate. Through my nemesis corner. And again, just gentle on the throttle. So I'm at half throttle through there. And then increasing the throttle on the exit here. Little squirt. The car's nearly losing it. It's just no grip through that section. Oh, it is a very tricky section to drive. And now we are back on the gravel. Car's nearly losing it. I'm thinking, no, let's get it together. Losing my mind a bit. And so now, last section to do. And I just need to keep it together. I'm thinking, right, we're nearly there. Job's nearly done. And then that completes this look at WRC with the controller. So I hope you liked what you've seen so far with the controller. I really wanted to show that off to a lot of you viewers who don't have wheels, who are looking forward to playing the game. So far, in all 3 classes, it's been perfectly playable, and I look forward to playing it more in the future as well. So there'll be more of this to come as I make a mistake on the second to last corner. Typical. Just got it wrong, hit a bump and the car flies off. But that's it from me for now, for this bit of WRC Part 3, and there'll be more to come, more from me very soon.